What's going on, guys? So you're looking to buy a gift for a coffee snob friend, but you don't know exactly what to buy. Well, we've curated a few items here for 2023, and here are some of the things that we think that would be suitable for your coffee friends. We'll split this category into beginner, intermediate, and all the way to advanced. So stay tuned all the way to the end of the video to figure out what they all are. Now, all the products that I talk about, the links are down in the description below, and so you can purchase it and give the gift of giving in this holiday season. Hi, my name is Josh and I'm from His Brew Coffee Roastery, teaching you how to make better coffee each step of the way. So let's start with the beginner mode. Now, a fresh bag of coffee is always appreciated. If you know that your friend has a grinder, buy a whole bean from any of your local specialty coffee shop. Now, the thing to note is make sure that that roaster that you purchased from or the bag of coffee you purchased from has a roast date on it. If it doesn't have a roast date on it, more than likely it's not fresh. You want to purchase a coffee that is at least within a week or two of roast date. That way when your friend consumes it, it will be the best. So a fresh bag of coffee, it doesn't cost you much, right? $10 or so, right? 30 ringgit. If not, if you know that your friend doesn't have a grinder or doesn't even have any equipment, right? You could buy them a drip bag. And here at His Brew, we have our Jingle Bean drip bags. Jingle Bean blend, easy to use. You just have to tear it out, right? Put it on the mug and pour it. So pretty simple. You just need a kettle and a hot water, and everyone has a kettle and hot water at home. So these two are the beginner sets. Now, moving on to something a little bit more unique, right? You have here a coffee gift mug, right? A mug like this, tight seal, right? A good mug like this would cost you anywhere between $20 to $30. Very, very good idea. You could give them a coffee mug like this and they would really appreciate it. Now, moving on, stepping up to something more unique. Here, you could give them a gift bundle like this. It has a gooseneck kettle like that. It has a dripper, a server, and also a filter paper. This is a complete set and you can find it down in the description below. This set here would be good to go for any coffee beginners. You could buy this set and a fresh bag of coffee. That's all they need. They can make good coffee at home and enjoy their day. All right. Now, if you want to buy something which involves a little bit more work than these beginner sets, well, we'll recommend to get, first of all, the Bilati mocha pot. So this mocha pot here is pretty nice. It's a single cup mocha pot. It's not the cheapest, but this is the only mocha pot that we recommend so far that we've tested because it can stand the test of time as long as it's clean up. For recipes, you can just Google online for James Hoffman's recipe. That would be probably the most recommended for us. Does really good, strong cup of coffee. Moving on. If you don't want a mocha pot, you can get them a AeroPress. This AeroPress has become really, really popular. It's still really, really popular even here in Malaysia, and I'm sure wherever you are, right? You have competitions about it, and the reason why I think it's so popular, it's because it gives you a extraction like none other. It's between a espresso and a filter coffee, so you get a really, really strong body most of the times, but at the same time, you still get a little bit of complexity from a traditional pour-over filter coffee. So AeroPress, it's not too pricey. They have a clear version that came out too. It's a perfect gift for a coffee friend. Now, if you think about maybe, hey, I don't want to give maybe a AeroPress. What about a French press? Look at this. Doesn't really look like a French press, but this is the Time More French press. Really slick, really unique. It's made out of matte plastic, but inside it's glass, right? Or silica glass. So if you let me take some time to take it out. You look at it. It's a nice stainless steel glass, right? And this I would say that this French press is severely underrated because it's almost like a travel pack. They could literally put coffee in it, put it into their car, and pour it out while they're driving. Not recommended, but you could do that, right? Last but not least, you could buy them a cold brew making bottle. Now, this is the Hario cold brew bottle. What it does, it has a filter. It has a filter mash here like this. You could put coffee in it, put water, and that's it. You sip it for however many hours, 10 hours or so, or some even longer, 24 hours, and there you go. They could pour out a nice cup of cold brew. So yeah, these are sets for beginners. Okay, now this is the intermediate level. Now you're stepping up in terms of the kind of gifts that you're giving to your friends and also the price point, right? But this is also really highly recommended by us. Here you have the Taimo C3S and you also have the Taimo C3S Pro. The only difference here is the Pro has a retractable handle. And I think the Pro is really a good step up, right? Especially for those of you who know that your friends are traveling and stuff like that, a Pro is really good. The internal brew sets are the same, but this is really nice. It holds about 25 grams of coffee max and you could grind it and no problems whatsoever. We've been testing this out and we really love this grinder. It comes in both black and white, whereas right here, this C3S non-pro version, it comes in black, white, and also this green color. It's a really pretty grinder, you know. A gift for a friend, I'm sure they would love it, right? If you just want to buy something that is with a combo, so this is a grinder, you could get this, the Hario V60 set. I've talked about this extensively in one of my videos, right? You could check it out. But this, what it does is it comes with a V60, which is a dripper. It comes with a server and also a scoop and a filter paper to get you going. So technically, if you buy this and a grinder like this, that's it. And a coffee, all they need is just these three. They could start making awesome coffee at home, and it's really nice as a gift too, right? Imagine just giving this as a gift. I'm sure any coffee lover wouldn't mind adding, even if they already have a dripper set, another set to their arsenal. Now, something a little bit more upgrade, you could buy a Hario switch set. This Hario switch set is really awesome. Like, the reason why, if you were to ask, hey Josh, recommend me a dripper. There's so many drippers on the market, I just want one. The switch, any time of the day. Reason being, it's so versatile. You could make immersion, fully immersion. You can make just like a traditional V60, and it's just really versatile, and it gives you the best cup of coffee to me. So a set like this, perfect for a coffee beginner. Now, before we move on to something more advanced, these are for your coffee nerd friends. Right here, books, coffee books I'm talking about. If your friend loves reading and just like books, these are some of the books that we recommend in 2023. The first is none other than James Hoffmann, How to Make the Best Coffee at Home. This book is literally for anyone. When we read it, we were pleasantly surprised by how simple, but yet in-depth it is to any coffee person on their journey, even if all the way to someone who doesn't know anything about coffee, to someone who just want a refresher course. This is really nice. It teaches you why coffee are in a certain way. It teaches you how to brew coffee. It teaches you the equipment that you need. It's just like, really recommend it, right? I think it's only like $15, so just buy this, right? Now, this is a little bit far-fetched on the left field for those of you who want to start a coffee shop. Really good read, right? What I know about running a coffee shop. This is written by Colin Harmon. Check out his podcast. Like, really awesome book. Teaches you about the intricacy about running a coffee shop. If your friends ever want to start one, you know, this book might come in handy. Now, the third book, Word Atlas of Coffee. Now, again, by James Hoffmann, Daddy Hoff, right? That's what Lance Hendrick would say. Good book, really good book. This book is not so much about how to make coffee at home, but it just tells you about the origins of coffee and how coffee is grown at certain countries and what the characteristics are typically in a given country. So it tells you about Colombia, its elevation, its growth, its processing. It will tell you about Africa, right? It will tell you about Mexico and all the growing countries. If your friends is a coffee nerd, good book. Slightly more pricey, but really good book. Now, for those of you who want to get into roasting, recommend it, definitely. This is a beginner's book. Even all the way, we read it every once in a while just for a refresher, right? It's written by Scott Rao, none other than Scott Rao. Best practices. He gives a lot of beginner guides, but at the same time, he gives a lot of guidance on how to roast coffee. So to those of you who have interest or have been roasting coffee, but are not too sure why certain things are done a certain way, you can find some tips in this book. Now, the last, Physics of Filter Coffee by Jonathan Gagne. Now, you've heard a lot about him, hopefully. I don't know if you have, but He's basically a PhD, a researcher, and he does a lot of sciencey stuff about coffee, and so that's why he's written Physics of Coffee, right? Filter coffee. Good book for you to read for those of you who want to know more about coffee or want to even go into the Brewers Cup Championship, right? So let's move on to the advanced level. Okay, last on our list on our advanced level, we have a skill, a digital coffee skill. Get a good one. Get something that is a Timor or a Hario or any of the other brands out there that are not too pricey nowadays, right? You can get an Acaia, but they're really pricey, but some people would say they're worth the money, but I don't know. But get a scale that goes all the way down to 0.1 of a gram differentiation. The reason why you need it is because coffee is all about consistency and measurements. If you don't measure your coffee, you will not get consistent coffee, right? So that's why a scale, although it's slightly more pricey than all the others that we've talked about, but it's really worth the money. And if you give this as a gift even to me, I would be happy. Like, I can never have enough scale, right? I need more scales than usual. Now, the last thing on our list, if those of you who have money to blow, you could buy a coffee kettle, or gooseneck one in particular, with temperature control. Now, we did a extensive review about this too. You could check them out in our videos. Basically, you could buy this, a stack. This is pretty expensive. You could buy a Timor, which is slightly cheaper, right? It's half the price of this, and it does the same thing, or at least to us. But the nice thing about having a gooseneck kettle is it gives you control on making better pour overs, right? And not only that, it gives you the temperature control that you need too. So for this, you can set at whatever temperature that you want the water to heat up to, and it will do its thing, right? So these are just some of the options that are on our list. Let us know down in the comment section below, did we miss out on anything for the year 2023, or is there something else that you would want to see that you could give as a perfect gift for your coffee friends? Now, links are all down in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!